Oh my gosh.
Get real.
No. Y'all, just stop.
This is a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll. Welcome to DBL. Today we've got a special show for you. We're looking back at some of these stories that got us all talking. We all had a lively discussion with our guest panelist, Jerry Springer, about the things we fight about most with our spouses. Take a look. Tori, how long have you been married?
Almost 9 years.
Okay, so what's the biggest thing in your household? And then follow it up, Jerry.
I think communication-wise, is literally I haven't communicated in time for him to understand something, and now I throw it at him, and that's a big thing. But don't you think others is money and sex?
I thought those would be the top 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, these are like little things that blow up.
What is sex, is it?
It's when... Oh boy.
Talk a little louder.
Sex.
What little things do you and your wife fight about?
Mickey drives, but she drives from the right seat.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. She's yelling.
So, yeah. And this weekend we were driving our grandson around, and so he was sitting in the front and Mickey was sitting in the back. And you know what? She can even drive from there.
Multi-talented.
She gets upset with the way I drive.
Now, Jerry, there are 2 different kinds of backseat passenger seat drivers. Is she you're going too fast, there's cars coming, wait, watch that car, watch that truck, watch these people, or is she you're going the wrong way, or is she a directional kind of?
Good one, Al.
All of the above.
There's two different kinds.
No, it's speed, turn here.
Yeah.
That car's getting too close.
I can imagine Jeff would lose his mind if Jordan did that to you.
Yeah, we fight about, this is a weird one, the blinds. I like them facing up, and she always puts them facing down. And then when I come home from work, all the blinds are closed. I'm like, what are you, Dracula?
Oh boy, Dracula.
Look, I have to fight the blinds, and I'm living by myself. I feel like your tiny violin should come out right now, but I really am by myself, and I have to keep them open because my natural inclination is shut those blinds and be a weirdo. But I'm like, nope, we're going to keep the world coming in.
Good for you.
That wasn't what the argument was about. It was which way you face the blinds, Albert.
Well, I face
Up or
them down. I face them down.
That, like according to Jeff, is wrong.
No, you face them down and then no one can see from an angle.
No, Jeff says you face them up so the sunlight doesn't come in.
But what about creepers, like trying to look up and they can see an angle?
Okay, Tori's.
I'm so sorry. I just don't know about blinds.
Okay.
Sam and Jeff really got into it while discussing the most Googled TV shows of 2022. Just for some context, Sam had kindly recommended the show 1899. Jeff wasn't a fan. Let's take a look.
So the top shows of 2022, they were Euphoria, Stranger Things, and The Watcher. Ooh, those
I
are
didn't
good.
watch any of those.
Oh, Erica.
How was White Lotus? Well, I
White
guess
Lotus
we just
is
kind of
so good, but it just came out.
Yeah.
The Watcher is a good one, right?
I have to stop watching.
Listen, you don't give me any more shows that you watch. I'm out.
It's your fault.
No.
You watched 1899.
No,
you were
it
into
stinks.
It.
You know what? You know
were
what these
into
suggestions
it.
are? It's come to a point where it's like a breakup. Like you cheated on me, and now I despise you for it. So don't you dare give me any more TV suggestions.
I told you to watch The Watcher.
You did me dirty.
I told you to watch White Lotus.
No, you told me to watch something else, and then you're on Anne with an E, and this 1899
You never
stinks.
even saw Anne with an E.
Things stink.
Okay, too bad. Episode 4 came in with 1899, and you were sitting here like, just so I gotta see more.
You're right.
I gotta see more.
You're right.
Okay.
It's like I fell in love, and then you broke my heart.
I don't understand. It's not that bad. It's a good series. You watched the whole series. What did you think?
I stopped watching when Jeff had a meltdown off camera about how bad it was. So I panicked. I've been really hurt by shows. That
Yeah,
were
I know what
like,
you mean. I know
you
what you mean.
invest yourself, and then they go like, I'm the only person apparently. I was watching Invasion on Apple TV, and then it just went away. And now I just have a year of investment. So I'm like, if somebody tells me to stop watching the show, I do. I need to fix that.
Yeah, well, I told Jeff the Bear. He still hasn't watched it.
Well, speaking of Googling things, that makes no sense. We all took a turn revealing the last thing we bought online and the last thing that we Googled. The answers may surprise you. Watch.
A plane ticket.
Oh, that's way
Okay.
better than mine.
Tori.
Dog collar bows.
Oh my gosh. Wow, Al.
I think I've had to buy a lot of things. I think it was a meditation cushion and pillow. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Mine was a fountain, I believe.
What kind of fountain?
Was that right? Was it a fountain?
What are you, a mafia boss? What are you keeping that in your
What kind?
garden?
An
It's a
outside
beautiful
fountain?
outdoor stone fountain.
really-
makes
you gotta
loud noises.
Send it to me.
Yeah,
Send
they're
it to
like
me.
Spouting?
Huge
Send a picture so we
I'm
can
in
put it up at the
I'm in the fountain market right
Please
now.
send a picture so we can put it up in the show.
I will send a picture. It's fabulous.
Who's in the fountain market? Oh,
I
We're
am.
getting up.
I'm
We're
in the
doing our
fountain
backyard right now.
Okay.
We're in the backyard. Shout out to Deb.
It's a great thing.
Okay, what about the last thing that you Googled?
I know exactly what mine was.
Who's up first? Is it anyone?
Oh yeah, no, we're going in the same order. Erica.
Sexy date night restaurants.
That's great. Did you actually write sexy date night?
I did.
I would've done that too.
Because then it gives a vibe. It means it's darker. There's a DJ playing. It's sexy date night.
Yelp has a whole section.
Last thing you Googled.
Leaf peeping in a winter park. Just to see the aspens change. I wanted to see the aspens change. We went too early last weekend.
Oh, look at Albert is sleeping. Al, the last thing you Googled.
This is actually worse than toys. The lit IKEA mirrors. The one that's lit, because you have to put it's a mirror with a light around it, and it goes directly into the wall. And so I was like, "Do you need an electrician?" And you do. So yeah.
Are you using that lit
Yes.
mirror?
It's
for
really-
what?
To see myself in the mirror, Sam.
You
That's what we've been using light for.
Do you talk to yourself? Are you like, you're good enough? You're smart enough?
It's a nice mirror. I have no regrets on Googling that. I do not touch electricity, so yes, that's I'm very happy about
Why
that.
couldn't you just have a mirror with a
Are we gonna
beautiful...
blow past leaf peeping? We're attacking my mirror?
I peeped the leaves.
I wanted to peep this year, and I certainly didn't get to peep.
Nope.
Coming up on DBL, our interview with matchmaker Devin Simone. She's telling us how to break the stigma of older women getting into the dating world. But first, we look back at the life of comedy legend John Candy. We speak to his daughter, Jennifer, about a new documentary on his life.
It's happy holiday season time.
From our DBL family
To yours, we want to wish you
A happy holiday season.
A happy holiday season.
Got grandkids.
Okay,
We're
so
talking
leave.
electricians over here.
My husband does all the electricity in our house. Well, his dad, my father-in-law, was an electrician for like 50 years.
Yeah.
So.
So you need to know what you're doing with electricity.
Oh yeah, and his dad taught him. Mark used to go help.
That's really cool.
with the lights up with the
Have you seen my lights at my house?
Your bathroom is dope.
Thank you.
It's so
Your
dope.
bathroom?
My
The
bathroom.
bathroom. That's what
Which
got
one,
me
the
for.
upstairs or the
The
downstairs?
upstairs.
What's
You
so
mean
dope about
the
it?
downstairs with the cow head or the upstairs with
The
the big
cow?
daddy? The old Big Daddy came. Because there's a vibe in my crib.
I've been to your house.
Welcome.
Dude, you don't have to.
Welcome.
And there's no vibe in my. There's no vibe in my crib.
I love your house.
Yeah, I
love
know.
your house.
I got. Oh, you would die.
First of all, I give
My-
Sam a compliment and she says, yeah,
Thank
I
you.
know.
No, it's true. Sorry. I have amazing dope wallpaper, but I also have moments in each room. Like I would say the first one is my Jimi Hendrix moment. And I feel like you copied me trying to have moments. Yeah, you did.
What's your Jimi Hendrix moment?
Right in the library with the
Name 2 songs for him.
Purple Haze.
Castles made of sand.
Are you Sam?
No, Purple Haze. I do know Castles Made of Sand.
No,
Purple
don't use
Haze.
her answer.
And then oh my God, my favorite is his guitar on the Star Spangled Banner.
Star Spangled Banner is not his song.
I gave you Purple
covered it.
Haze. I have his whole album at
Well,
home.
you're apparently having all these moments in there. You should have plenty of songs on deck. Can you name a Big Daddy Kane song?
Thank you. What? Name what?
A Big Daddy Kane
Butter
song.
it up.
No.
Big Daddy Kane? I know. Dangerous. Dangerous. That's Mr. Cow.
She called it Mr. Cow.
I thought it was Mr. Cow.
No, it's mystical.
No.
Mr. Cow
How many
sounds
people
like
have
a
heard me
weight
say
loss
Mr.
powder.
Cow?
No.
Oh, danger. Watch yourself. Show me what you're working with.
Yes, not Big Daddy Kane, but I'll take that.
Welcome back to DBL. He always knew how to make us laugh, and with a new documentary in the works, John Candy is back in the spotlight. We spoke with his daughter, Jennifer, earlier, but first, here's a look at the legacy of her famous dad.
Oh, that feels good. Oh, God, I'm telling you. My dogs are barking today. Whew. Oh.
When you hear the name John Candy, what words come to mind? Everyone knows he was funny.
And he's waving. Oh, he's going. Oh, he's going. Oh, all right. All right, great.
But how about lovable?
Where do you live?
In the city.
Do you have a house?
Apartment.
On a rent?
Rent.
What do you do for a living?
Lots of things.
Where's your office?
I don't have one.
How come?
I don't need one.
Where's your wife?
Don't have one.
How come?
It's a long story.
Do you have kids?
No, I don't.
How come?
It's an even longer story.
Or maybe honest?
A gold medal is a wonderful thing. But if you're not enough without it, you'll never be enough with it.
What about humble?
You know what your problem is? You're in love with this girl and you're trying to convince yourself you're not.
And how about legendary?
Just a figment of my imagination. The cat's stewing you. The oyster shucking you, I told him. You got the right ta-ta, but the wrong ho-ho. Butrin is not sharp. Scout's honor. And you can tell him I said so.
Asking anyone to pin down your favorite John Candy movie is a difficult feat.
Well, I went to this doctor, and he told me I swallowed a lot of aggression, along with a lot of pizzas. Pizzas.
But there's one thing we can all agree on. He left us too soon.
Good evening. Some stories we're following. Tributes pour in for one of Canada's most famous entertainers. John Candy is dead at the age of 43. Candy was in Mexico working on a movie. He died of a heart attack.
We all love your dad. It kind of got us a little emotional just watching all those great clips. But your dad said his iconic Uncle Buck character was actually based on him as a dad. What parts of that role are actually your dad that you remember?
Oh, it's a combination. I feel like it's the fun-loving kind of jokester all the time, but then the very serious dad. You know, it was kind of like, you know, don't mess around, or, you know, do this, do that, in a good way. Like, it was kind of the balance, but he was fun. He was just he was your fun dad to have.
Aww. He was that guy that we saw in the movies, right? Yeah. Making you laugh all the time and everyone around him.
But then always calm and mellow, and, just living his best life and kind of being very family oriented and making sure that we're all kind of like stay grounded, and that we're just, doing family things, when he's home, because he always had to go away for work. And then he always, brought us along with him. And then when he was home and he was present, which was always, that was, I think, a Father's Day, or we were trains, planes, and automobiles with the mustache and the perm. And
oh, wow.
We always went on family vacations. It was fun.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Jennifer, you've been so transparent about the life and death of your father, which, I mean, is such a gift to us as fans. So what do you remember about the day that your father passed?
Do you know what, as weird as it is, I remember I was studying for a vocabulary test in school. And I remember, the day before studying, talking to my dad on the phone, and then waking up the next day worried about tests at school and all that. And then getting pulled out of class moments before I had to take this test, and them not saying anything. It was the principal, and then going to get my brother from his class, which was he was a couple years younger than me, and then going to the rectory and where my mom was, and then they told us, and then I just broke down crying, and then I sat down, and then I stopped crying for a while. Because I just couldn't process all of it. And it was just a very weird, mind-numbing day.
Yeah. That's a perfect way to put it. The day my father passed away, I kind of knew, so I had to tell people. And it's weird, you kind of snap into this other mode where you're just like making calls and being efficient, because you don't even allow yourself the time to process, because there's so many things going on, so it takes a while.
It takes a while to process. I think it still takes however old I'm now. It's like you're always processing.
That's right. Well, I mean, it continues on the legacy. And your son, Finley, he didn't get a chance to know his grandfather. So what do you tell him about his grandpa, John?
We've got a picture in our house that's a painting or a drawing of Barf from Spaceballs. Yes. And it's at the bottom of our stairs. And he knows, there it is. That's his favorite painting. And we tell him, he says goodnight to Grandpa. and he pretends to give it a hug, or gives it a hug. So he knows that that's his grandpa. And he knows that Grandpa's not around. So he sometimes goes, Grandpa, go bye-bye. I said, yes, Grandpa, go bye-bye. But you know that this is your grandpa. And he at school, he had a Dia de los Muertos, and he brought in that picture. And he was showing it to all his kids at school. So it was cute.
I love that. And in October, keeping the legacy alive, Ryan Reynolds revealed that he and Colin Hanks are working on a documentary about your dad. You and your brother have been going through old footage and photos of your dad for it. Was there one memory that you loved reliving when you saw it?
Reliving our birthday parties, which was kind of surreal.
Wow.
And just our dad being the host and my mom being the host and them interacting with people. And it was just kind of this weird, it takes you back to that time of your birthdays. And it was fun. And I loved seeing all that footage. It's like home movies.
Yeah, what a gift. Thank you for sharing your dad with us. You can follow Jennifer on Instagram to get the latest on her current projects, along with updates on her dad's documentary. Jennifer, thank you. We'll be right back. Thanks, Jennifer.
Thanks, guys.
The sparkly, colorful things that make the holiday season bright can make for a big mess. So with the help of a list of sources, let's verify how to dispose of some common holiday items.
As we get into this time of year, there's always more waste, and it just takes just a tiny little fraction of thought before you put that in the recycling bin to make sure that it really, truly is recyclable.
Unwrapping a gift? If it's simple printed wrapping paper, recycle it, tape on and all. But if it's metallic, glittery, or film coated, it will likely need to be pitched. Same goes with gift bags, which should be reused when possible. Also reuse ribbons and bows because they are not recyclable. Tissue paper is too difficult for most facilities to recycle, so it goes into another gift or in the trash. Busted holiday lights, old batteries, bubble wrap, plastic shopping bags. These items can be recycled, but not in your single stream or blue bin. Instead, check with a local recycling center or specialty drop-off location. Spent gift cards are not easily recycled, though many stores will allow you to reload and reuse them. The holidays also tend to be a time with a lot of gathering over food. It's a good idea to reuse or reduce use of plastic cups, serving trays, and disposable utensils. Cans, glass bottles, and aluminum serving trays can typically be lightly cleaned off and then recycled. You'll want to check the recycling rules where you are, especially if you're packing up and traveling for the holidays, but a near universal rule is not to put your recycling in a bag before putting it in the bin. With your Verify, I'm Abby Larico.
Welcome back to DBL. Let's be real. Society isn't too kind to women who are middle-aged and single. So to break the stigma against older women dating and answer some burning questions, earlier we sat down with matchmaker and dating expert Devin Simone. Take a look.
So there are some stigmas about older women dating that just aren't true. Share those with us.
The lies, girl, they're straight up lies. There's a stigma that, when you get older, that you're less fabulous. There's a stigma that you won't be able to sort of keep up, that you're really set in your ways, maybe that you've kind of lost that oomph. We all know that that's not true. 50 is the new 20, 60 is the new 30. You know yourself more. There are some advantages to dating older, and you can make it work for you. You just have to be smart about it.
All right, well, let's flip it a little bit. What about a younger person pursuing an older person out? Is it what's a red flag and what's a reasonable age gap?
So y'all not gonna get me in trouble talking about reasonable age gaps because hashtag no judgment.
Yeah, that's right.
But it depends on what you're looking for though, right? So you just wanna make sure that you have a similar vision in what you want out of life. So if you're older and you want to date someone 10 years younger than you, okay, cool. But make sure that that person's not looking for something very different, like maybe they want to start a family. Also make sure that you guys have complementary lifestyles. So if you're ready to retire and jet off, dip it and do it, and can pay to do that, and this person's just starting a new career and working extra long hours, you're probably not going to be compatible. So just make sure that you have a shared vision for what you want in the future, and a similar lifestyle in terms of, you know, where you can be now. Unless you're just looking for somebody really cute as arm candy, then do whatever you want.
Okay, well, look, I'm gonna hold your feet to the fire here. Give us a number. Like, what's a weird? Is it 8 years, 14 years? Like, what's a little like eyebrow raising?
So with our clients, I generally recommend an 8-year window, right? So you want to do, like, say 5 years down, 8 years up, and that's for men and women. But again, if you feel like you just want something much younger than that, we're talking 15 years, 20 years, you can do that. Just be realistic about it and make sure that you're not getting taken advantage of.
Ooh. All right, so a lot of people wonder how to know when you're ready to date again, especially after divorce or loss, and the best way to go about it. So what would your advice be to them?
My advice would be, if you feel like at some point you want to get back out there, the minute you start thinking about it and the minute you feel comfortable enough to even say it, even if it's to yourself in the mirror or to your best friend, then it's time to give it a try. You don't have to be fully healed. That is a myth in and of itself. We're always growing. You don't have to be fully healed to start dating. You just have to be taking steps towards that goal, and go ahead and dip your toe in it. Make sure you have a good support system, because you never know who may surprise you and when.
I like it. So, Devin, before we go, we got to get into a little tabloid gossip here. Do you think Leonardo DiCaprio not dating any older women, older than 25, I should say, beautiful models from around the world? What's wrong with this sickie?
Oh, look at Devin.
What's wrong with this sickie dating beautiful models?
That is a mess. It is a mess. It's a red flag. And Leo was fine on that boat, but maybe he didn't deserve to get on the door. Maybe Rose had the right idea in Titanic, because the way that Leo keeps dating these college-age girls is questionable. Look, Leo can do whatever he wants. He's a grown adult, and these women are all grown adults. However, anytime someone keeps dating someone that much younger, it typically means that person likes an unequal balance of power, right? He's older, he's wiser, he has more money, and that creates a little dynamic, and it's a little weird.
Devin, what happened to hashtag no judgment and dip it and quit it?
Oh, I'm gonna send them to you. I'm gonna send them to you. If you are mad about what I said, go follow me on Instagram. Don't come at me about it.
Fair enough.
Devin, I love what you said earlier about if you're talking about it with your family or you're talking about it with your friends, that's something that means that you're ready to go out and do it. Because a lot of people think they're just talking in a vacuum, and I'm like, why are you telling me like you should put action behind it?
Absolutely. Put action behind it. Look for a support system. Look for a date coach. There are some that are much more reasonably priced than you might think. And you can also look for a matchmaker too. A lot of companies will even do a free consult. So that way maybe you can get some expert advice and sort of that you can use when you're dipping your toe in without having to fully commit. But there are options for you. And my aunt, she's 70, has a boyfriend of 10 years. Woo! They met at a graduation, love each other. Shout out to Aunt Nevada and Will. So it absolutely can be done.
Yes. Devin, thank you so much. DBL Nation, Devin is a senior matchmaker at 3 Day Rule, and you can check out Devin on dating.com for more info on matchmaking. Devin, always a pleasure. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.
Appreciate it.
That was fun.
Thank you, guys.
The House January 6th committee has finally wrapped up its investigation and recommended criminal charges against former President Trump for his alleged role in the insurrection. They summarized the evidence and sent it to the Department of Justice. But is that really all the committee can do? Could Congress itself charge someone with a federal crime? Let's verify. Our sources, the Department of Justice, the FBI, the American Bar Association, and Daniel Richman, a law professor at Columbia University. Because of decades of laws, constitutional interpretation, and practical precedent, federal charges can only be brought by federal prosecutors.
The Justice Department has a complete monopoly over the bringing of federal criminal statutes.
Normally, the way it works, an agency like the FBI investigates possible federal crimes and passes on the evidence to federal prosecutors within the Department of Justice, who ultimately decide what, if any, charges to pursue. With January 6th, it's a little different. In this case, the committee did their own investigating and are now passing on the evidence to federal prosecutors. Now, the DOJ has actually been conducting its own separate investigation, But this move from Congress could provide new evidence, and perhaps more importantly, put some symbolic or political pressure on prosecutors to move forward with charges against Trump. But the committee report holds no more legal weight than if any ordinary citizen wrote a letter to the DOJ. It's not an actual criminal charge, and it doesn't even mandate any action from prosecutors.
That doesn't mean that there is a necessity for prosecutors to pursue this case, and I'm not sure, as I said, where it radically will change their decision making, but they'll think, I suspect, long and hard about walking away from a case to the extent that a very clear, powerful picture of criminality has been assembled by the committee.
So we can verify, no, Congress does not have the power to charge someone with a crime. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
The holidays are a perfect time to say thank you to the people we interact with throughout the year. But could accepting a gift actually get someone in trouble? Viewer Warren asked us. We give a cash tip to our mail carrier every year just before the holidays. However, I recently read that cash gifts are illegal for federal workers. Is that true? Warren, let's verify. We turned to the U.S. Postal Service and checked in with the Department of the Interior. A USPS spokesperson tells Verify, quote, all postal employees, including mail carriers, must comply with the standards of ethical conduct for employees of the executive branch. They go on to say cash and cash equivalents, such as checks or gift cards that can be used like credit cards, the ones with a Visa or American Express logo on them, for example, quote, must never be accepted in any amount. Ethics rules for federal workers state when someone is receiving a gift because of their official position, they may not accept cash or checks made out to them under any circumstance. So Warren, we can verify, offering cash as a sign of your appreciation is not against the rules. But yes, it is against the rules for your mail carrier to accept it. However, you still have options. The USPS spokesperson says under federal regulations, carriers can accept a gift worth $20 or less, and this includes gift cards to stores and restaurants. With your Verify, I'm Abby Larico.
Welcome back to DBL. We love hearing from our viewers, especially when they have questions for us.
I love hearing the pizza box rustling underneath the table. Sam, and whoever lined out that shot, I think that was Ira, and that's why I love you. Sam was just chatting away like we were at the cafeteria in the airport. Yes.
Love
Sam,
it.
let's get you.
You're on the hot seat.
Okay,
we have a
let's do it.
question. We
Okay.
reached into our DBL mailbag. This is Mallory. She wants to know, do you like any of the shows Sam recommends? Albert, how dare you?
And with the knee, I gave it a chance. I was like, not for me, but I could see how you'd like it.
Okay.
You recommended The Watcher, so I'm
Yep.
going to hold off comment until I watched that.
What about Succession? What about
You didn't put
The
me on
Offer? Yes, I did.
You did not. I've never seen The Offer. In Succession was kind of a big show. It's not like some underground nightclub. Like everybody knows about it.
DBL's new every day. We'll see you again, same time, same place.